Hello again and welcome back to Cruise1st TV. Wonderful as always to have you looking in on our little world of incredible cruise and stay holidays around the world. Right then, this show features Norwegian Cruise Line. Elegant, beautiful, fun and fascinating journeys around this little globe of ours. With Norwegian, you really do get more at sea. And more at sea is exactly what you get to enjoy on every one of our offers in this show. The most fabulous premium drinks offering, Wi-Fi to enjoy, extra included specialty dining in their stunning array of restaurants, and Shore excursion credits to help decide which adventure you want to unlock in port. Now we have 3 feature cruises for you, all dream-worthy destinations to visit. We're heading off to the Far East next November on Norwegian Spirit on a 3-week bucket list ticker. And we're a bit closer to home, visiting the ancient Eastern Med in May on the Norwegian Viva, over 12 nights from Rome to Istanbul in Turkey. First though, an early booking treat for the end of January in 2026. 18 fabulous nights taking in the Caribbean, Central America, and a real treat to kick things off as we fly from the UK to New Orleans in the States, the Big Easy, which you get to time to really be part of on a 3-night hotel stay, which is incredible. Very, very nice place to be indeed. Of course, full of fabulous music venues. Music is very much a big part of what happens in New Orleans, but I think actually you can see here from the footage there are just great places to be and to wander around and to get to know this part of the States. Of course, the cuisine here is fantastic. Dining America is so fun anyway because there's just such a massive choice on offer, but it looks like there's plenty there for you to do over your 3 nights in New Orleans, and then it is time for us to cruise. And as it just said on the screen there, let's escape on the Norwegian Escape, part of the Breakaway Plus class with Norwegian. And Norwegian are so good as a cruise line. Honestly, if you have never cruised Norwegian before, please give it your attention because it is such a lovely kind of boutique cruise line. I love how smart and colourful and friendly and vibrant the atmosphere is on these ships. It really does feel like an escape to luxury. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Everything is beautiful. Everything is nice and new. And you see on board people just having the greatest fun. It looks brilliant. And of course you are, to all intents and purposes, on this all-inclusive. You have a premium drinks package for you to enjoy right the way through your cruise. And when we say premium drinks package, we mean that when you go to the bars, you recognise the vodkas, the gins, the whiskies, the whatever it is your drink of choice, you recognise the bottles behind the bar, which is great. I love that. Their specialty dining is superb as well, and there's a big array of different restaurants on board for you to enjoy, including the Brazilian steakhouse, the Churrascaria, which is very nice, where everything arrives on skewers and whatever. Very nice to do. There's an American diner on there as well. So many fantastic things to enjoy. So let's do our 2 weeks of cruising. We start in New Orleans and a day at sea to Costa Maya in Mexico. There's an excursion here to the Chachoban Mayan ruins with a guide. Learn about the history, head to the foot of the pyramid there and see the excavated ruins that lie beneath. Very nice indeed. Harvest Cay in Belize is next, where you can go parasailing here. There's a wildlife experience, there's the Land Shark Bar and Grill for great food, and there's superb shopping here too. Next, we're off to Honduras to Roatan Bay, and you can take a tour here to Tabiana Beach Day and the Gumbalimba Preservation Park tours, and you can see the natural beauty here in this part of the world and visit one of the best beaches too. Day at sea, and we're in Costa Rica next, Puerto Limon. There's a rainforest skywalk here which you can take, and you follow a winding trail through the rainforest and across the skywalk bridges with a guide, which sounds super fun. Next, we head to Panama, and we're in Colón, which is the world's second largest duty-free port, and lots of shopping there indeed. Lots of ecological interest sites there as well. The Chagres National Park as well, which is a lovely big rainforest. Cartagena is next in Colombia. There's an excursion here to see the highlights, including the 17th century fortress, a shopping spree at an upscale mall in San Diego, and to see the San Felipe Castle. A day at sea, we're in Jamaica, Ocho Rios, where you can go bamboo rafting on the Martha Brae River through the ferns and the bamboos. Of course, Dunn's River Falls is here, which is always a very popular tour. Lots of tours available along the way as well. Georgetown is next in the Cayman Islands, where you can take a discovery tour, which takes you to the famous turtle farm, and you can go on to a place called Hell. And there are other highlights on that tour as well. Very nice. It's great to take a tour because you can do lots of different things in a day. Next, we head into Cozumel, where you can tour to Chancanaba Beach Park, enjoy the all-inclusive shore snorkeling in the reef with the tropical fish and the underwater statues, which are quite something to see as well. Final day at sea before we disembark back in New Orleans and fly back to the UK. I love the fact that this itinerary is just that little bit longer, and it's taking you to some places that you've heard of, but it's also taking you on a nice kind of magical mystery tour of Central and South America as well, which is very nice, and you know, dipping into places like Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. So, you know, everything about this is tropical and Caribbean and wonderful and sunny and gorgeous. So if you fancy this really lovely tropical adventure with fabulous New Orleans included, then this is the one to go for. Now I'm going to price it up for you for this date here in January. And it is your flight over to New Orleans, 3 nights in a hotel there, 2 weeks of cruising in the Caribbean and Central America. Remember, included your premium drinks package, extra specialty dining, shore excursion credits for every one of the ports that you're going into, and a Wi-Fi package, and of course your flight back, reluctantly, back from New Orleans back to the UK. Now you can put a deposit on this price today of just £199 each, and your whole package, which, you think about it, the only other things you're going to be paying for on board are real treats. You know, it might be shopping, it might be pamper treatments, but they're the only things, and you like treating yourself when you're on a cruise holiday, and you know, quite happy to pay for those bits and pieces. Kind of feels like most of the rest is all covered in your price tag, isn't it? All the flights, the hotel stay, and the cruise right the way through, which is all inclusive. So this is a great little deal, I have to tell you. Norwegian are amazing at creating these lovely itineraries, which are super varied right the way around the world, and take you to some places that you've never heard of, but you're glad that you went to. And I think that's the great thing. These are real discovery cruises. Here's the details to upgrade on this cruise then, to Ocean View or balcony or suite. Always a good deal when upgrading, and you want to have a look at as well at the different suite options that are available. We can talk you through those, of course, when you call us, but you can see them too on our website at Cruise1st.tv. But they have some amazing and different grades of suites are available as well for you, which you can go and check out, because sometimes it's quite nice to, if it's a really special holiday, if it's something completely different and out of the ordinary, and it's one of those big landmark birthdays or something like that, go the whole hog and go for a suite. You know, below the holiday budget and go for it, and that will certainly pay back in terms of your enjoyment of the holiday as well. But it's a great package, and remember, deposits today of just £199 each, and then that means that you have some plans in place for 2026, because you may well have booked all of your cruises already for 2025, and if you haven't, you need to get on it straight away. We've got plenty of shows for that, of course, and lots of choice on the website as well at Cruise1st.tv. I mean, you might be looking for a late deal. You might well be looking for something that's going literally in the next few weeks with Norwegian. Just talk to the team, we can make that happen for you as well. It's part of what we do here at Cruise1st. We are not here literally with just the deals that we show on TV. There are thousands more opportunities on the website, and it's always worth having a chat with one of our team, because you always speak to the same person over and over again, which is brilliant. We deal in Cruise1st, as our name suggests, so we've got a great knowledge of, where the ships are in the world, what they're doing, and where the best deals are as well. Where are the free upgrades? Where are the flash sales going on? We know them all. So call us on 0800 953 4700. Next, we're going to a slightly different part of the world. We're going to Taiwan, to Hong Kong, to Vietnam and Thailand, all in one fabulous 3-week holiday, which goes on the 14th of November. And we are flying first off to Taipei for a 2-night hotel stay. Obviously, this is November next year, so we're putting some plans in place for next winter, because you know what it's like here in November. You just want to be as far away as possible. So off we go first to fabulous Taipei, which is a wonderful, wonderful city to just go and explore and to love. And, like any new part of the world that you're going to, just find out what the local little tours are and ask the hotel, what do I need to see while I'm here? You get some really, really good ideas, and watch people's travel YouTube videos as well. They're so useful for things to do. And once you've had your couple of nights in Taipei, it is time for us to board Norwegian Spirit. And we're on board for 15 fabulous nights. Now, you're seeing some of the refurbishment work that was done here, and that was done back in 2020. Actually, they spent over $100 million adding to the Norwegian Spirit. So fabulous, fabulous dining, of course. Every stateroom sparkling, beautiful, very boutique hotel as well. This is lovely. This is kind of like the 5-star lifestyle, if you like, because everything is very, very upscale, yet very relaxed. Of course, the byword for Norwegian is free at sea, which means do what you want when you want, dine where you want when you want. And that's the nice thing. Having this all-inclusive as well, where you've got your premium drinks package already in place, you've got some Wi-Fi, you've got some shore excursion credit. And how that works, by the way, it's $50 of shore excursion credit per port. So when you're looking through the excursions, straight away you can say, right, okay, well, we'll both go on this one. That's $50 off the price straight away, which is brilliant. And you get that credit in every single port of your cruise. You get some extra nights of specialty dining as well. Depending on which grade of stateroom you go for, that can be up to 4 or 5 nights of specialty dining. And there are plenty of specialty dining restaurants for you to lavish and enjoy. And when you're on a cruise for 15 nights, main dining is terrific. I mean, that feels like really posh, upscale dining anyway. You can see the dining rooms here, and they are wonderful. But going into, somewhere like Onda by Scarpetta, which is such gets rave reviews right the way through the cruise industry, actually, for being such a really, really lovely treat of a specialty dining restaurant. To know that you are getting some of that included as part of your offering, it's really nice, and it's lovely to treat yourself, every few nights maybe, or maybe just once or twice in your cruise to something just that little bit more upscale. Anyway, let's see where we're going, because this is all about the journey. We go first into Kaohsiung in Taiwan, which is a larger port city, big buildings there, and there's a sky tower that you can look across the city from. There's also the Love River here, which you can take a little cruise on, and lots of shopping too. We've got a day at sea into Hong Kong. You can head to the Peak Tram here, ride it to the top of Victoria Peak for the epic views over the city. See that big Buddha that you see in the top picture there? And it weighs 250 tons, so don't try and pick it up. You might do your back in. A day at sea, we go to Vietnam next, into Ha Long Bay, which is the port for Hanoi. And you can cruise along Ha Long Bay there on a traditional junk boat to the local islands and hike through the national park if you fancy. A day at sea, we're in Nha Trang next, which again, that Long Song Pagoda in the top picture is just beautiful, isn't it? Really nice. Go into the bustling Chinatown while you're in Ho Chi Minh as well. It dates back to the late 1700s, so you can see old and new together. We go into Ho Chi Minh City itself, which is a very, very nice place to be. The Reunification Palace, again, one of the big attractions there, but also taking tours along the Mekong Delta. We nip across to Cambodia next, Sihanoukville, which is full of temples, actually, over 100 temples, and it's very known for its beaches, tropical islands, and the mangrove jungles which are nearby. Next, we're off to Thailand, into Bangkok. Now, we need 2 days when we're in Bangkok, so we have an overnight here. So you've got a chance to see it by day and by night. And a couple of tours. You can take the best of Bangkok in a day, and you can also take in the Grand Palace and Emerald Buddha Temple on another day as well. You've got plenty of time there. Next to Koh Samui, which is just beautiful. A tour here gives you the flavours of Koh Samui, where you visit a local market, do a Thai cooking lesson at a beach resort and spa, which sounds quite a nice thing to do, nice memories to bring home. A day at sea, and we're in Singapore. That's where we leave the cruise, but we're staying in Singapore because it's a fascinating city. So we stay for 2 nights in a hotel. It has a very old Chinese quarter here, which is worth seeing, and lovely colourful Hindu temples, the modern skyscrapers, of course. Take a cruise along the Singapore River, or take a pedicab ride through town, which is nice, and you can enjoy the quiet of the National Orchid Garden here. And of course, you've got Singapore by night, which is a very, very different affair. You can see how everything lights up and, you know, really comes to life. Some wonderful restaurants, of course, to enjoy while you're there in the city. Got to go to Raffles for a Singapore sling before we fly you back to the UK. So it's a nicely rounded holiday. I mean, listen, the fact that you've got a beautiful cruise ship here is almost by the by, because this cruise is all about discovering these fantastic destinations across, you know, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, finishing in Singapore, and then having a couple of nights there as well. So this really is about the big adventure that this is. And remember, we're planning well ahead here. We're talking about next November, 24 nights of holiday next November out to the Far East, and very different places as well. And we've done all the arranging for you as well. So we've arranged the flight from the UK out to Singapore for you, the 2-night hotel stay there, the 15 nights on Norwegian Spirit, cruising Hong Kong, Vietnam and Thailand with your overnight in Bangkok. Enjoying, while you're on the cruise, of course, your premium drinks, Wi-Fi, shore excursion credits and extra specialty dining as well. Of course, you started the cruise in Taipei with your stay there as well, end it in Singapore with a stay there too, and your flight back to the UK from Singapore. Deposits today of just £199 each, and to do all of these wonderful places and cities and the stays too, 24 nights. And remember, for the cruise, you are hardly ever dipping your hand into your pocket at all. You know, you're talking about, you know, money to top up your shore excursions if you want to do those. You've got some credits anyway. But apart from that, it's shopping and pampering, because drinks are all included. There's Wi-Fi package included, you know, so you've got lots included already. 3199. I mean, if you were to do this city by city, flight by flight, you'd be spending a fortune, wouldn't you? And that's before you've gone out for dinner or gone to see a show or, you know, anything else. So much included in that cruise here, taking you to all of those different places. Amazing. This is why we do it. This is why we do it, because they are about real traveling. And that's what a cruise holiday is all about. I didn't just go to Singapore. I went to Hong Kong. I went to Bangkok. I did all of this in one holiday. Here are the upgrade prices for the cruise, by the way. So there are your prices for ocean view and for balcony. That's what really excites me about a cruise like this, because funny enough, since I don't know, you put a few more years on your own clock and you start thinking, I've taken too many holidays where I've literally just gone to one place and stayed there. And I've discovered there and I've loved it there and everything else, but I could have seen so much more. I mean, to fly all the way to somewhere like Taipei and just see Taipei, I'm sure it's wonderful. But to also have, as part of that holiday, so many more destinations, and then end it in Singapore and have another city break there as well. Brilliant. And have it all sewn together by someone else. Someone else takes all the responsibility for you. Amazing. 0800 953 4700. It's funny, isn't it? The more we look back, the more we look forward sometimes, and we go, actually, we want a little bit more. We expect a little bit more out of our holidays these days. We used to be quite happy with Yeah, we always go to the same hotel, next to the same beach, in the same place every year for a fortnight. That's what we always used to do. And I think people these days just demand a little bit more of their holiday. Right, I mentioned before, our next offer is a little bit closer to home actually, as we do the all-inclusive Ancient Eastern Med on Norwegian Viva. This is for the 6th of May over 12 nights. And we fly first out to Rome for a night in a hotel there. And Rome is just a fabulous city. I mean, I've had 4 or 5 or maybe even a whole week actually in Rome a few years back. Absolutely loved it. Went and saw the Sistine Chapel and the Vatican City, which is fascinating. It is just awesome. I mean, when you see the Vatican City on the TV, it's nothing to actually standing there. It's wonderful. Here's your cruise ship on this one, Norwegian Viva, which is beautiful. She launched in the summer of last year, so she's a very, very new ship. And she's very much a sunshine ship as well. Norwegian Viva is very much about enjoying the outdoors and being up on deck and having lots and lots of different experiences. And look at how different every region of the ship is. Very, very clever, and Norwegian kind of really inspired here by adding things like infinity pools to the side of the ship. It's a really clever idea, because once you're out sunshine cruising, being in one of those infinity pools, looking out across the ocean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I mean, if you've ever been to one of those rooftop infinity pools, you know, in a hotel in a big city somewhere, that's spectacular. When you're on a cruise ship and you're sailing, brilliant. Now, if sailing's not, you know, necessarily, or sitting in a pool is not necessarily your thing, then the racetrack and the thrills and the water slides and things like that, brilliant. Or maybe you just want to escape into the Mandara Spa and just have the most incredible time. Have a lovely pamper treatment. Go and spend some time in those lovely just oases. This is going to be a great cruise. You know what, even if it went to nowhere and back, you would have a great time, wouldn't you? Wonderful food. Remember, you're all-inclusive on this one as well, so premium drinks, extra nights of speciality dining, Wi-Fi included for you, and some shore excursion credits. Let's see where we're going on this one as well. So out of Rome, we go up the coast to Naples first. Explore Pompeii and the ruins here, maybe head to Sorrento and go and enjoy the flavours there. You can visit a cameo factory and just enjoy the local scenery here. Catania is next in Sicily. Under the shadow of Mount Etna, you can head to Taormina, which is very close to here as well, which is just beautiful. If you get down to the beach at Solabella, underneath Taormina, it's beautiful. Day at sea, and we are in Cairo, Alexandria in Egypt. This is the port for Cairo. We're here for an overnight, so a couple of days. So maybe one day you can go and see the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx and whatever, and maybe day 2, see the best of Alexandria itself, go and see Pompey's Pillar, the Roman Amphitheatre and lots more. Limassol is next in Cyprus, good old Cyprus. Take a tour here to the Temple of Apollo, journey through the fertile lands of Cyprus, past the Colossi Castle and lots more on a single day tour. Really nice to do. Rhodes is next, and there is a tour here which heads you inland, tasting classic Greek specialities such as stuffed grape leaves and ouzo. Ouzo takes me back to my teens. Very late teens, of course. Very, very nice indeed. Next, we move to Santorini, and we stay in Santorini right the way through until 10 in the evening as well, which is really nice. So you can have a really relaxed day here, plenty of time to wander and go and see the sights. And it's nice actually when a ship stays a little bit longer. Mykonos, another very, very popular port as well. Tours here to Delos, the historic city centre, and the fabulous beaches which are nearby. Again, this is part of the world that you just have to drink in and see. We move on to Kusadasi in Turkey here. Ephesus is the big draw here, the ancient ruins there, which they're forever uncovering new as well. see the great theatre, the Library of Celsus, the Temple of Artemis. They're all there for you. We end this cruise in Istanbul in Turkey, and that is where we fly back to the UK. But of course, we can also arrange some extra time in Istanbul if you want a few nights there in a hotel, have your hair and your teeth done before you come back. It's completely and utterly up to you. That's where everyone's going, aren't they, these days, to have those things done, and then come back to the UK. The great thing about ending in Turkey and having a few nights in a hotel in Turkey is cheap as chips, isn't it? It's wonderful to be there, not expensive to be there at all, and a fascinating city to see, so well worth adding. Anyway, as this is a wonderful step back in time, fascinating itinerary, lots of excursions to look at on this cruise as well. It's for May with your flight to Rome, a night in a hotel there, and then your 11-night cruise on Norwegian Viva, premium drinks included, Wi-Fi package included, extra nights of speciality dining, and shoring excursion credits for every port you go into. Cruise ends in Istanbul, and that's where you fly back to the UK for this price here. It's not too far away either, this, is it? I mean, at the moment, we're doing a lot of looking into the future, like way into the future. In fact, some cruise lines are now opening their programs into early 2027, whenever that is. But look, this one we don't have to wait long for. We're talking May. We just have to get ourselves through the winter and the start of spring, and then in May, off we go for a wonderful, wonderful adventure at $2,199 per person, all inclusive. Here's the details if you want to upgrade. And I would definitely talk to the team about adding some nights in Istanbul, because it just looks like a fascinating city. And so many people I know who've been to Turkey just say, you know what, this is brilliant. It's wonderful. You can just go and explore, you know, go and eat in a restaurant. It can cost next to nothing to dine. It's like stepping back into another world where, you know, it wasn't 15 quid for a cup of coffee. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing. Go and check it out. It's wonderful. If you want to know more, talk to the team, 0800 953 4700, and that's a free call. Remember, we're here 7 days a week. And if you haven't cruised yet, oh my word. Well, listen, don't take my word for it. Listen to my friends here.
What is not to love about cruising? It's waking up every day with a brand new adventure at different ports.
People say, you do it every year, and I say yes. And it's not what you think. You must try one. You know, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And they think it's very, very expensive when it's not. When you break it down, you'll get an absolute bargain for your food, your drink, and the luxury of being on this boat.
When you're on a cruise, you're away from everything. You're away from all the problems, as long as you leave your phone at home and you know, all that stuff. You're away from people, you're away from cooking. No cooking, no takeaways, nothing like that. You can ring up and get something brought to your room quite easily, no problem.
Do it while you've got whoever your significant other is in your life. Because one day they might not be there, but then you will have the knowledge of knowing you can carry on cruising and carry on enjoying and having a good time.
Wise words, my lovely Jilly, and I hope you are well, and I hope you are well as well. If you are looking for your next cruise adventure, honestly, we deal with all the major cruise lines here at Cruise1st. We've just had a little look through the letterbox at some Norwegian offers here, and there are many more of them as well. And Norwegian just give you a really, really good time. You know, a really, really classy, bright, boutique kind of ship where you can have all kinds of fun. You can take the whole family with you as well and have big, big adventures. I mean, some of the itineraries that we've seen with Norwegian are like, where, and where? But when you look into them, you're like, wow, fascinating to do all on one journey. It's great. And listen, it's that versus having a backpack and doing that race across the world thing. And I don't know, I'm not brave enough. I don't really fancy that. I like a nice bathroom and a nice bed every night of my holiday. Anyway, more holidays on the way in just a moment. See you later.